All right, so with the 56th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Ozzy Trapilo, offensive tackle from Boston College. So talking about him a little bit, well, actually talking about the trade that actually led to that pick. We traded originally our 41st pick, which is our early second round pick, to the Buffalo Bills, and we traded picks 41, our third round pick, which was pick 72, and our seventh round pick, which was 240, four picks 56, 62, and 109. So essentially, we trade our second round pick, our third round pick, and our seventh round pick for two second round picks and a fourth round pick. So I actually really like that move because you actually move up in a draft and you get to trade back. So you regain some draft capital and you don't have sort of that gap that you had from pick 72 onto I believe, the fifth round pick that you had. So I do like that trade in a nutshell by itself. As for Ozzy Trapilo itself, and by the way, please watch the draft announcement from WWE wrestler Seth Rollins, man. He's a big-time Bears fan, and just doing what he did in Green Bay was just absolutely legendary. I loved it. Super funny, an amazing wrestler, an amazing, I guess you can call him actor as well. But moving on to the draft pick itself, Ozzy Trapilo, like I said, he is an offensive tackle from Boston College. He is massive. 6'8", 315 pounds. This man is an absolute unit. So first off, right off the bat, I love the draft pick for two reasons. One, because he's big, and two, because he addresses a position of need. But man, he is a big dude. As for his age, he is 23 years old right now, and he actually will be turning 24 in October. So I guess that's sort of a little downside for him. It's nothing too crazy like 25 or 26 like Tyler Show, the quarterback going to the Saints. So it's not that bad. I would have liked him to be a little younger, like a Colston Loveland who just turned 21. But 23 years old, turning 24, not that bad. You're not drafting a Velus Jones who was 25 years old when you drafted him. By the way, a little fun fact here. His father, Steve Trapilo, was drafted by the New Orleans Saints back in 1987 in the fourth round. So he does have some NFL background to him. Now, unfortunately, I don't believe he knows much of his father because he unfortunately passed away back in 2004. So Trapilo must have been only like a year old when his father passed away. So rest in peace to him, which is super unfortunate. But he still carries on the family name. He still carries those football genes in him. So already right off the bat, he's starting off life basically with a sort of advantage, you could say. But going into my thoughts about Ozzy Trapilo here, like I said, he's a little older, so it's not the greatest thing, but it's nothing terrible, like I said. So I love the pick, and I love the pick for a few reasons. The two things I mentioned already, which is the height and the weight. So you're already getting a big dude, and also the fact that it's at a position of need. And my favorite thing about him actually is the fact that he's played all across the O-line except center. But he's played left tackle, he's played left guard, and right tackle. And that is super huge for a team that was lacking depth last year. Obviously, you remember that we suffered a ton of injuries on the offensive line. I think pretty much everybody was either cut or injured at some point last year. Obviously, the big name being Braxton Jones. You had Tevin Jenkins being injured, as always. Nate Davis was cut, I believe, midway through the year. Darnell Wright, I think he was out for one game, so you had to start Larry Borum there. And that kind of solves the situation. Obviously, we replaced the interior with new guys, but in case they get injured as well, or Braxton Jones, same thing with him. If he gets injured or if he doesn't produce and Karan Amagaji's not ready, you can put in Ozzy Trapilo there at left tackle, and he's not that bad. I mean, obviously, he's not a first-round talent, but I do like his anchor against the bull rush, so that was a weakness of Braxton Jones, obviously. Braxton Jones struggles against the bull rush, but Ozzy Trapilo does a better job of handling that. And I believe being 6'8", 315 pounds does help with that. But I love the versatility. So Ryan Poles loves his versatility with D linemen. Being able to play all across the offensive line is something that Ryan Poles really likes. Obviously, you look at Darnell Wright, who also played left tackle in college. So there might be a possibility that you could see Darnell Wright playing left tackle, maybe Ozzy Trapilo at right tackle. I don't know for sure. You're taking an offensive tackle pretty high. I mean, it is towards the back end of the second round, but he's still in the second round. So who knows if this ends up being Braxton Jones' replacement, which I wouldn't mind. You're building the offensive line, like I said. So, give Caleb as much help as possible. And also another thing that Ryan Poles really likes and has seen evident through most of these drafts is that he loves his athletic linemen. So I'm going to throw up the RAS score on the screen right now. But he had an RAS score of 8.89, well, which is tremendous for an offensive lineman. Like I said, he is 6'8", 315 pounds. And he ran a 5.26 40-yard dash, which, like I said, 6'8" is insane. So you're already getting an athletic offensive lineman who can play all across the offensive line, could play not only tackle, but also play guard as well. Does really good against the bull rush, could get better at that, but does really, that's one of his strong suits. And I love the pick in general, just for it being a position of need. So let me know what you guys think about the pick. Honestly, I love it. Addresses position of need, big dude. I love it, man. Let me know what you guys think. Bear down, I'm out.